Did you watch the Versus Tank and
I missed it.
Tyrese?
Listen, all I know is turtleneck, turtleneck.
Turtleneck.
What
That was a
people haven't heard it.
mic check.
You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Can I get a mic check real quick?
You know what I mean? Can you hear me out? You hear me good?
Yep, I can hear you.
Jamming. You think
We are
that
good to go.
you don't realize that that's not. You know what I mean?
Let's
Does that make any sense to you?
I think so, maybe a little bit.
But you're not like that. You think everything we do, you like this shit is slamming, you know. But there are times.
But how do you make stuff that you don't think is killer? I don't understand.
No, it's not that. It's not. I mean, that's a good question, but that's not what I'm saying. You think it is, but there is a level of.
You hold your glasses.
Yes, thank you, honey.
You hold the coffee.
I'm gonna just finish this last bit and then. Thank you. See, I shouldn't have you.
Oh yeah, you crushed this. You good? You
Mike, I'm
finna
break dance.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
We
go.
are live already.
We already live?
Yeah, we rolling.
You know, I always get started before the mic is on.
Always. So what's going on, good people?
Listen, let me tell you something. We're about to go. You always ask me where we going or what we doing.
Always, because you always heading somewhere
Always
when you
head
come into the
somewhere.
shop first.
You're not gonna believe this. Last time, I guess. Oh yeah, you got me ready to go to South America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were there for 3 weeks. Amazing. As soon as we got back, we got an email about Istanbul. We leave for Istanbul June 3rd.
That's dope. Y'all
For
all
a
over the world.
festival.
Festival, okay. Who's on the?
We
on the
don't
ticket?
know. We don't know. Do you? We don't know yet. But
Say we pulling up.
yeah, so people who, it's so funny, folks ask us, you know, what are some of your favorite places you've been and all? And
Yep.
you think about Istanbul, Turkey was not even on my,
On your list?
no, it never even occurred, never thought about it, and here we
You have
are.
a fan base in Turkey.
I don't think, something must be happening. I mean, but it's just amazing how your life's work or your life's loves will have you experiencing things you never even thought about.
100%. Even out here in Pittsburgh
That's what I was gonna
yards.
say. We're right here. Do you know how long you've been cutting my hair?
Yeah, I was gonna start there because it's coming up on 10 years.
God, because a guy just asked me. I was like, it's been forever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know.
Even before Ideal Barbershop.
Absolutely. With
know?
Chris, you were sheer. What did Chris call it? Sheer miracles.
Sheer Miracles. Yep. Over 10 years ago.
So it's over 10 years.
No, almost 10 years, but Ideal Barbershop has been 8 years. So yeah, it's coming up on 10.
Coming on 10.
Because it was like 2017.
Somebody is getting. Oh,
Yeah.
this is before the twins,
Oh Lord.
right?
Wes was just born.
That's right.
He was around that salon, running around, flirting. Even at
He know what to do.
8 months old, he was already smiling in everybody's face. So yeah, we here now. It's came a
here.
long way.
I mean,
So yeah, I've been cutting you for a while, and
are you know?
I've been cutting Denise for a while, not Avery Sunshine. I've been
Isn't that
helping
hilarious?
Denise get ready.
Even for almost 10 years. But are you surprised by anything that you've done?
Am I surprised?
Like, are you surprised that you're here, or this is something that you envisioned? Is it something that you said, I want to do this, and you did it? Just like I was saying
Yeah.
with Turkey, I never
You see it
even
coming?
thought about traveling.
When I
there.
moved to Atlanta, 2008, I think I was telling you this too, Dana, like, it was my goal to be successful in Atlanta, but barbering wasn't that vehicle.
Yeah.
I was coming here for a corporate job, trying to live that lifestyle, trying to get a condo downtown. And so 2008, when the recession hit, my job was cutting, kind of similar to what people are going through right now. And I was one of the last in, so you know what it is, last in, first out. So that's when I went to barber school. So yeah, I mean, in my mind, to be 100% with you, I wanted to be here. Yeah, I saw me growing and being able to have my own space and shops, but I don't know if I really believed it. Like, you know, you can see it, but I didn't know if I thought it would be something that was actually tangible. So to be here, to be able to have a new location and do it my way. I think that's what's most important. That's what I want to talk about with you, because with y'all, the growth is there, the success is there, but you did it your way.
Yeah, we did.
You did it your way. Independent.
I mean, but to, I'm reminded when you say you saw it, but maybe you didn't all the way believe it. And that's what's interesting about dreams. When people talk about, I feel like it's easy to dream. And what is the hard part is convincing yourself that the dream precedes the reality, right?
Convincing yourself that the dream.
Convincing yourself that the dream really is it dictates the reality. So the fact that you've had the dream means it absolutely can happen.
For sure.
And so when you said you didn't all the way believe it, I know that feeling. I know that space where
Do you still
I dreamt
go
about
that?
it, but I didn't. Absolutely.
At this level? Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm just gonna jump into it. We're standing on the darn Grammy stage, and I look over, and all I can think is, I used to watch this on TV. I used to watch these people. I remember, Michael Jackson was up on the Grammy stage. I was watching Whitney Houston, Stevie. These people, I watched these people on this very stage. And I'm standing here now with my husband, my partner, and my kid. What is happening?
Next level.
And then the person who hands the Grammy to me is Jimmy Jam.
So
Are you old enough to know Jimmy Jam?
I'm old enough to know the name, but not know the music.
I just realized how old, Dana, you realize how old we are when we say, I was somewhere else and I said to a lady, I was in, I think, Walgreens. I said, I had a picture I was getting framed and printed. And I said, ma'am, you know who this lady is? She says, oh no, she's very pretty. I was like, that's Sheila E. She was like, who's that? I was like, I'm just getting, I'm getting older, but it also speaks to how we consume music.
Oh yeah, totally different now.
It's completely different. At one point, we were all getting it from pretty much the same sources.
Do you feel like
at the same time?
For you, the way that we consume music now helps the way that you guys operate?
It certainly does.
That change.
It's so much. There's so much more music. Yes. So the benefit is that there's access. You have access and far reach, right? The downside is that so does everybody.
Everybody.
So everybody gets to, specifically when we put out an album, and we were just talking about this, when D'Angelo came out, you listened to the whole album. Jill, you listen to the whole album.
Interludes and everything.
Interludes, everything. Now, you put your music on an album. The first thing that's on the list, on the track list, that's what people listen to.
Oh, for sure.
And they don't listen to the rest of the album.
I find myself doing that too, like looking at a new album and seeing which one has stars next to it.
Yes.
And going to those first.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of consuming now, for sure.
Exactly. So what we've learned is, you don't have to talk trash about the new way. Figure out how that thing works. So we put out singles, and we did that for our last album. They call it the water drop. Is it the water? What do you call that? Raindrop method. Water drop it. Fall off. Waterfall. Did I say water drop? Same thing. Praise God.
Lemon drop. Water
Lemon drop. Water drop. All same thing. So you are feeding and kind of keeping the balls in the air rather than throwing all the balls out at one time or throwing it all out. You give everybody give them something else to focus on.
For sure.
And or like if you're at dinner and you're at a 12 course, a restaurant and they're serving 12 courses, they don't bring them all out at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they let you digest your amuse-bouche first, you know. So that's been an adjustment. Thankfully, we've been able to orchestrate and design our path, clearly along with God. But we've been able to do that, and you said it, and do it our way.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful thing about where we are. We can, again, back to the dreams, we can dream anything and do it.
100%.
Anything.
To me,
Mike.
that's the toughest part now, is the fact that for me, there's nobody else to blame
No.
for me and what I do. For y'all, you control how things work out, right? So for
Absolutely.
the most part, it's almost more difficult now that you do have these constraints off. So now you gotta look in the mirror and realize, oh, okay,
If it's not
on
happening,
me.
yes, if it's not happening, it's something that I didn't do, or
Yeah.
I did do, or
That's why I want to have this conversation with you, because people see you on stage, and of course you have a great social media presence, but
Yeah.
they don't necessarily see all the work, like the huge team that's behind it, the love. So like what it takes to actually show up on stage.
Yes, you. My God, the first thing I did when we were, for me, I try not to focus too much on the Grammy moment, but it's easy to go there. But I was, in writing the thank yous, I had to be really clear.
Oh,
We're not here
for your acceptance
for the
speech.
acceptance speech.
Yeah.
We're, the hardest thing is making sure that you don't forget anybody, because you didn't get to that point by yourself.
Yep.
I mean, shoot, down to the Uber driver. You know what I mean?
Did you think the Uber driver really?
I did not, but
But he contributed to
he
you
contributed
showing up.
because he made sure we got there all right. You know what I mean? You got there safely. One of the homies said the Uber driver they had almost made a success. He had to run down the aisle. Remember, Dave? Because the Uber driver almost messed him up. But what you said, none of us get here by ourselves. People don't know you get to a city and there's ants in the hotel room, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you need some help. You got to call your team. Hey, help me find another hotel. We got 7 people that need somewhere to stay. Well, just the stuff that nobody talks about.
Yep.
Listen, down to believing in you when you're tired and you're exhausted and I don't feel like doing this and I don't feel appreciated, and the moments right before you go on stage, or
to be clear, you still experience those self-doubt moments.
Oh, come
Because people think that, I'm just
on.
saying, people don't really believe it. They see you,
Yes.
they see the Grammy, they think, you surpassed that level of self-doubt.
No, you were working on the new album now, and you're accolades and awards and all that stuff. Sometimes they can give you this. Clearly, it is an indication of an accomplishment.
For sure.
But now you're able to compare everything you do against that. And it can almost cripple you if you allow it.
So in a way, it's a hindrance.
It can be.
Okay.
In the same way, if you have let's say your first baby, you have this baby and this baby, at 5 months the baby's walking and talking. The next baby you have, that by industry standards, the baby should be walking at 3 months, and your baby, and you're right, that first baby you had, he was talking and doing stuff, and this next baby, that baby started walking in 9 months. What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
What? That baby is still exceptional. That baby's still exceptional. And I think that is what, if you don't have people around you, if you don't keep yourself grounded enough, you can get that stuff can really, and I'm saying it can, because it does that now. I'm measuring everything against the thing that won a Grammy. And I have to undo that and say that's a completely different baby.
100%.
That this new baby's not gonna be like
So
that.
you have to stop yourself from changing the standard.
Oh my God. And I heard Dave Chappelle say something so good. You get to a place and you start adapting to where you are, and you somehow abandon or try to abandon how you got where you are. You can't do that. You gotta, that same vibe, that same thing that you came out with when you didn't care whether people were listening or not. You just, you only cared about how the music felt to you. You can't abandon that. But it's so hard. You get in this, we were talking to a friend yesterday. It's like you get into this place where you feel like you're kind of locked in by the lights, camera, action. And say, well, the way I used to do stuff, that's not how people are doing stuff or writing songs anymore. It's like, no, you gotta keep that. But you gotta have people around you that remind you to do that. Listen, I'll say it like this: the way my mother cooks, and now I'm not a great soul food. I don't cook that. I can't fry no chicken for real. I can't make no greens. I can't. Now, if you want me to braise some greens, or you want, and you want the new, I could fool around with that.
Yep.
But the way my mother would put something together, you cannot deny the traditional way of preparing soul food. You can't deny it. Now, you might have a stroke. You might, but you cannot deny.
The risk comes with the reward.
Come on, but you cannot deny it. I cannot deny, the greens in a Michelin star restaurant ain't gonna taste like the greens at my mama's house.
100%.
And you cannot abandon the way some things were created. And I think sometimes accolades and awards and that kind of, poignant kind of acknowledgement
Like that,
can make you start.
Validation, that external
Yes,
validation.
you could be here now, Mike, and say, you know what? Now that I've got this amazing spot here at the, at the Pittsburgh Yard, so now I only do hair that's blonde. I'd be like, what?
Who is you right now?
Who is you? I guess that's a part of the human condition, right?
No, 100%.
Don't change up. Yeah, there are things that do need to change, but we can't change up the core of who we are, and that's the balance.
Is that where you rely more on your team?
Oh my God, my husband.
Like for me, Shantae keeps me grounded. My wife keeps me focused on the main thing.
I have to tell you, I do say this, there is no Avery Sunshine without Dana Johnson. I don't have the discipline to not be led by my emotions all the time. I'm working on it, but it is my husband who, aside of telling me just relax, who reminds me, you were created for this, cut it out. You are enough. He used to say to me, whether it was true or not, he was like, you don't do bad shit. I was like, what? For your companion to believe in you so much that in those moments where you have doubt, they say to you, you don't do bad haircuts, Mike.
Yeah, what are you even thinking right now? What's that voice? I don't know that person.
You know what I mean? My husband would say to me, oh, Nate, I need to lose some weight. He'd be like, don't talk bad about my wife. That's what he say to me. I am beyond blessed to have a companion who is my friend and loves me like I show up.
Yep. Has that evolved over the years? I mean, of course, your haircut has evolved over the years,
Absolutely.
right? Because this version of Avery Sunshine wasn't around. Early days, right? We had the bald. Was it all the way bald back then?
Not all the way. No, it was that, what they call it? Was it the Caesar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
But it was born out of necessity, right? And
Well, that, yeah, listen, because when I got to school, now my mother was a licensed cosmetologist.
Okay.
She had her own barber supply business and all that. So I knew how to do hair. I was perming and curling and cutting and doing it, but I couldn't afford it when I got to school. So, yeah, when I came to Atlanta, I went to predominantly white schools my entire school career, from kindergarten, preschool through through high school, right? So now I'm from Chester, PA. That is the hood, one of the dopest places in the world.
yeah.
But it is the hood. And not in a bad way. But when I got to, so I knew what it was to be around my people. But when I got to Atlanta, being around my people in a way that you know, most of the medical doctors were black. Most of the educators all were black.
Yep.
The government officials were black. The presidents of colleges were black. What is this? All this dope blackness and the president of Spelman College at the time, her name was Dr. Janetta B. Cole. She had a short natural. And I looked around campus, and a lot of my Spelman sisters did too. I was so empowered. Cut this shit off. I'm just going.
In college, you cut it off.
I was a freshman. I can't listen. I got to Spelman with I think I had a bob, permed. You hear me? I went home Christmas break, bald. Bald.
So what did you do? Did you pull up to a barbershop?
I pulled up to a barbershop.
Yeah.
Well, no. Let me tell you. Since I didn't have any money, my Morehouse brother. You're given you get a Morehouse brother, spelling vice versa, whatever. He was cutting hair in his dorm room, and I was like, "You're gonna have to cut my hair off." So he did. He sure did. Now he wasn't great, but he did cut it off, and I went and found a real barber, and that was. When I'm thinking of it, that's one of those grown-up moments, and one of those moments where I felt like I could do anything. I remember after I got my hair cut, I was walking down at the time. It was Lee Street. They haven't changed the street, have they, Dana? It's something else now. I don't know, but I was walking down the street, and a guy hollered out, "The woman's hair is her glory." I said, "What?"
Now you have a Caesar at this point.
I got
right?
a Caesar.
So is he taking a shot?
He's taking a shot. You ain't supposed to be bald headed. You know what I mean? It's like, what? The woman's hair is her glory. And it's like and I don't know if he looked like, but he looked like he hung out the window, and he was hanging out with his hand, like sitting on it. I couldn't believe. I said, "What the hell?" You know. That was a turning point in religion for me too, because he was taking a shot. The Bible says a woman's hair is her glory. Women shouldn't be bald. They shouldn't be. I think at that moment I was on a path of proving to people I can do whatever I want to do, whatever I want to do, and you ain't gonna tell me. I was proud though. I was proud.
I read that at one point you were trying to grow it out early in your career, and Dana, you was like, "Nah, that ain't necessarily working with the."
See, sometimes
now
he know a lot, but sometimes I'll be like, "You don't tell me." I still do. I still tell him that. But he said something. He was like, look at all of the artists that you love. You can identify them by their hair. I was like, don't.
So you're saying you're gonna blend in if you try to grow it back out?
Exactly. He said, what was special about Prince? What was special about Stevie? What was special about Michael? You could see their silhouettes and you knew who they were. You just, that was it's one of those moments. I was like, wow, you're on to something. And yeah, because I was tired. You know, I be wanting to do different stuff. And you just, back to something you were talking about, this can be exhausting. And for creatives, you know, you want something new. You want to try. So listen, my hat's off to any artist who is able to reinvent and stay relevant. And because it's not easy to do that.
Do you feel like you're still in the phase right now of reinvention? Are you reinventing yourself right now?
Yes. And I'm finding that I have to, I have the benefit of being able to kind of retreat a little bit to kind of figure out what that is. I don't necessarily have to do it in front of the world like maybe a Beyonce would. She has to be careful about how she does that, or everybody's got something to say about it. You know, I'm grateful that we are the tiny little working class artists that we are. So I can do that. That really delicate dance between, we call it that interesting intersection between art and business. It's the same thing. How do I keep evolving and being creative? But now we've created a business out of this creativity and this creation. We still got to eat. How do we make sure that we're feeding that and being honest?
For sure.
And growing. How do you do that? So it's taken some, again, back to my amazing husband. He's given me, he makes me feel, he supports me when I pull back a little bit. Because there's sometimes, Mike, I have to pull away from social media.
Yeah.
Because it's too much for me.
Yep. What part is too much?
Sometimes looking at what everybody else is doing. And because you'll start telling yourself, oh God, I'm not doing enough. Oh Lord, I gotta do, I'm quitting. I'm going to go work it. I'm working Kohl's or something. It's like, Kohl's? Why Kohl's? Why Kohl's? You know, but
it's very much so designed like that. It's designed
that
keep
way.
Us comparing ourselves with others, and
it's designed that way. So again, I have the benefit of having, like we said, a companion who supports, but also holds me accountable. It says, now listen, you got 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks to be in this hole trying to figure it out, because we got shows, anime, okay, and we do, and we've got goals. And now, if you decide you don't want to do this anymore, tell me that, and then we'll do some other things. But while you said this is what you want to do, here's the space to kind of retreat for a minute.
Yep.
Now,
but I'm knocking on that door when it's.
But I'm knocking on the door, and he has the benefit, like I said, of being able to step out of the emotion and look at it, and he's just a very special kind of human being, able to be creative and sensible. And not saying that all creatives are not, but I do think a part of being creative is that you make sense out of things that don't make sense.
100%.
That's the whole thing. So I don't want to lose that. And having somebody who was able to hold you up while you're in that space, and you say, I want to sing this whole song backwards in Japanese. I'm gonna try that. And you'd be like, okay, go ahead and try it. You can't do that if you are, you know what I mean? Because we have a really good friend named Eric Roberson who talks about, it's like, you don't want to do something ain't nobody asking for. You know what I mean? Did anybody really ask for you to do a song in Japanese backwards? Did anybody ask for that?
How do you balance that? That's the interesting point too. How do you balance as a creative, as an artist, what's deep inside you to just pull out and just to create versus getting feedback from the fans, from the audience, from people who want to support? How do you walk that thin line?
Yeah, you just do it.
You just do it?
You do it, and then you trust your team, your group of people, your trusted folks to be like, all right, look, I did this. What y'all think? And if it's crickets...
So you're not looking at the audience per se, you're looking at your team.
Now, it's a little bit of both. We have the great benefit of being able to tour. So I could try stuff out at shows. And if it's crickets, then we won't do that again. We got a song that's coming out this year that we tried out at a show, and Mike, every show we've done where we've done this new song, as soon as the beat drops, as soon as Dana's playing guitar, and as soon as I open my mouth and start singing the first line, somebody's like, yes! It's like, I never heard this song. Brand new song. Dana, would you agree? Every city. We did it in Tokyo. We've done it in London. We've done it everywhere. And somebody's like, yes! It's like, I ain't even got through the song. It is undeniable.
Is that something that happens because you are independent? Like if you were on a bigger label, would there be more structure? You wouldn't be able to experiment as much?
See, I don't know. I assume that I don't quite know a whole lot about that major label thing. I would assume though that it's somebody saying, maybe don't try that song. Maybe, maybe absolutely. Yes, because I'll be in the show and I just decide, you know what? I don't feel like doing that right now. Let's do, I have to, I could just go with, absolutely.
Yeah. From what I see, it's my perspective too, as your barber, a fan as well, but I think that's part of what makes you so unique is that it's the spontaneity within the boundaries of preparation. And I wanted to make sure
Great way to say that.
I want to make sure I brought that up because people see you on stage and you're so free, your shoes are off.
Yes.
You talking with the crowd, but what does it look like to show up and have that much freedom? How much preparation comes?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny because Dana talks about that when people, they see our show sometimes, and sometimes it's me on keys, Dana's on guitar and drums, and my bass player. So it's just a trio. And we've had people say, if y'all need somebody to play drums, it's like, no, we don't.
We good.
We're actually good. We've designed it this way. It is not as haphazard as you might think it is. Now, there is spontaneity. Yep. But you can only be spontaneous and it works if you've practiced. You don't just get up here and just be winging it. There is, like a football team. Before, you can call an audible after you've had rehearsals.
Yep, no doubt.
After you've had practice.
Did you watch the versus Tank and
I missed
Tyrese?
it. Listen, all I know is turtleneck. Turtleneck.
That was a viral moment of spontaneity. So that's what popped into my head.
Spontaneity.
Tank was able to be spontaneous, to go into this whole
but he
bit
is
in a way.
But he's very well rehearsed. He knows it, and to be a pianist and vocalist, there's stuff that he has practiced, so he's able to move in a particular way. So he's absolutely
same thing within my craft. I think
yes.
Of course, there's structure that give me the ability to have appointments, but it is my discipline to know where I can play around with my different guards. I've been doing most of your cut with clipper over comb.
See?
Like I'm freestyling in a way, but
Yeah.
I have boundaries. I know what angle will get me in trouble. So
Exactly.
it allows me to have a conversation,
And
but still execute on a dope haircut.
absolutely. That's why I say you don't do bad haircuts. Didn't we say that?
Hey.
You don't, huh?
Not over here.
I'm trying
Not
to
around
tell
here.
you.
Not around here. Playboy.
That's really, really good though. I think I'm gonna start talking to folks about what entertainment and all of that stuff means. There's got to be a level of spontaneity that brings the people in and lets people know that people like to know that the people that they are watching and the people that are performing for them are still human. And
Yeah.
there is something about that, but they also want to feel like you did give a damn and you did rehearse.
Facts though.
They want that too. But yeah, you talk about that. I remember the moments when my mom, I'd be practicing and I always talk about the way the house was set up. We had a shotgun house. You could see the back door from the front door, right? And the piano was situated in such a way that Mom would look through one of the doors and she could see all the way to the front of the house, but she would see me practicing. And if I played a wrong note, she would lean out and she'd have her curling irons. I think, are they the Marcells or something like that? And I could see the smoke coming from the Marcel and I would hear, she holding it. She done walked away from her client to say, hey, Denise, you didn't play that right. Now, my mom can't play a lick of piano, but she would lean out and I'm playing some classical piece. You didn't, that's the wrong note. Like, God damn. I think those moments are I recall that when I think about preparation too, though. You know, I have another good friend, we do, Atlanta native. His name is Trey Gilbert. He's one of the greatest bass players that we've ever had the benefit of playing with. And he said, you know, you practice so that making a mistake is not an option.
Yeah.
And then it frees you up to be spontaneous.
Yep.
Right? You've mastered cutting hair. So like you said, so if you decide to make a left, you have the freedom to take a left turn.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned before, good morning. You were talking about, you mentioned Beyonce.
Yeah.
And you know, she has her, Sasha Fierce is her alter ego.
Do I have an alter ego?
Well, I figured that Avery Sunshine is the alter ego.
I think you're right.
Because most of the time I'm spending time with Denise.
Denise, absolutely.
So does that alter ego evolve? That's what I think I want to know. Over the years, do you still, well, let me frame it this way. I heard that Beyonce no longer goes by Sasha Fierce because she feels like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce have kind of combined.
Yeah.
Is that for you? Something
Absolutely.
similar? Yeah.
It certainly started off as because at the time I was a choir director and a mommy and, a pianist. I was not an artist. So I needed some sort of, whether I acknowledged it then or not, I needed some sort of separation to make this thing real.
Yep.
So yeah, Avery Sunshine, let that be that over there. Not Denise White. That don't even ring that well, not for an artist. So, but now there are no mistakes, Mike. There are no mistakes. I am clear that that altered, it was in me. So it's funny that you say that. You're cutting Avery Sunshine too, because that's exactly who I show up as.
Who you are.
Yeah, I'm Denise on stage. Now you call me Avery Sunshine, that's on the records and stuff, but it's Denise.
It's Denise?
Yes, because listen, I know Dana would say that I am when I take my shoes off. That's me being on stage. That's Denise. That's cracking jokes somebody stood up, and I'll only bring it up because it was so funny at a show, and we had a lot of family members at the show, and somebody who knew my mama and knew me when I was a child, and they stood up and they said, "Hey, it's Miss Pat's daughter." I said, "Do you know how many Miss Pats there are in the universe? Which Miss Pat is you talking about?" And I felt myself going, that's all me. That ain't no Avery Sunshine.
Sure.
That's me, because that's what I would say to somebody if I was not on stage. And I am grateful that I don't have to be somebody else.
Was there a moment when that switch happened?
No.
No?
No. I've always just been that way. I just am now able to acknowledge, oh, it's just been me. I could have still been Denise White. I didn't necessarily need Avery Sunshine, but it's fine.
Yep.
But I've always been, on stage, it's always been very easy for me to be who I am.
So let me add, like the singer out there who's watching, who doesn't have that, who instantly thinks about the worst case scenario when they get to a stage, even though they have all the ability.
Yeah.
What would you tell them? Like, what is not the advice, but what is just the perspective that they're missing?
Say that again, expound. Ask me again what?
No, I'm just thinking about a singer, an artist who's
Yeah.
about to perform, and you just mentioned that now there is no separation between Denise and Avery Sunshine, same person. So you show up and you're able to just be you.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's without as much nerves or second guessing who you are, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of singers who don't have that. A lot of artists who will be afraid. I mean, stage fright is the biggest fear still right now, right?
Yeah.
So is there
Yeah.
anything that you could give them to let them know it ain't that serious?
Yeah, don't do this shit then. I'm serious, Mike. I'm serious. Because you got to be strong to walk out on a stage and sing your shit. And listen, Erykah Badu was right. She is a prophet. I am an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. And being able to say that and still move, if you are not able to even acknowledge that or be that way, it takes a certain amount of strength.
For sure.
To be that vulnerable. And if you're not able to do that, then you probably shouldn't do this.
That strength for you was with you day one?
Yeah, even though I didn't know what it was. It was just maybe just ignorance about being too transparent. Because I walk out on stage and be like, "Oh, y'all, I'm having a hot flash." Yeah, and people be like, "Do you know how human that is?"
Sure.
And people are like, "Me too." Sometimes it might be too much for some people. No. I don't know. So then I am giving thanks that I will attract my tribe.
For sure.
But if you are not able to be, there is strength in being vulnerable. And if you're not able to do that, stage is not the spot for you. I just wouldn't recommend it. Now, you want to practice it, go to somebody's church and do it, because they're going to give it to you. You hear me? In the name of the Lord. They're going to be like, they're going to sit there and look at you and blink when you sing and you think you killing and get on their phone and do something, or the pastor get up. I do think a lot of that toughening, it may not have been the right way to do it, but I'm sure it came from church. Yeah, sitting in the pen, the pit with the other musicians, and you play something and don't nobody do nothing, or they turn your keyboard off because you sound like trash. You know what I mean? Be like,
it's all right, baby.
Yeah, it's all right. All right. All right, honey. Go ahead and give her a hand. Amen. Yeah, go ahead. Maurice, you come to the keyboard now. Praise God. All right. You get enough of those, you'll be like, that it'll toughen you. But I do think that a lot of people, they haven't had that toughening, that training, that Listen, this stuff is attractive. Being on stage is attractive.
Yeah, everybody want to be a star.
Everybody wants to be a star, but nobody really wants to. They don't want to do that work.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I had the benefit of doing this kind of work before I even knew what was happening, Mike. I was getting my training in church and didn't know it. I'll never. There's a moment when I was in college and I was playing for a church, and the pastor fired the minister of music during rehearsal, and I was just the accompanist at the time. He called the minister of music out of the rehearsal, fired him, then called me out and said, listen, I need you to finish the rehearsal with all these people. Now, at the time, I may have been 20. In the particular choir, the youngest person in the choir was probably 45.
Yeah.
So you want me to do what? Okay. So not only do I have to, teaching the people is easy, right? But managing the personalities.
Totally different.
It's completely different. Understanding how to move a group of people and get everybody's attention. These people have been to work all day. Somebody didn't get their check. Somebody got cut off on the way there. They was cussing before they came into you got all kinds of personalities and situations in this room. And you got to teach them they volunteers. They ain't getting paid. How do you keep their attention?
Yep.
And it's not something that I had the time to figure out. I had to do it in real time.
Right there. Yep.
And that's a training that you just I don't even know. Again, so if you haven't had that kind of experience, go get it before you try to be on stage. You got to get it somewhere. It just is what it is.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's interesting.
All right, we are finishing up. Let me show you this mirror.
Let me see what you got. You put me on my feet.
I feel like I did my thing. Let's see what you think. Here. Check it out.
Oh, she look. Oh my. I gotta do this every time you finish my hair.
It's part of it.
Oh my, she's killing. Oh,
she back.
And you know what's amazing though? When you do it, and I stopped like I went to get some coffee, and I asked the guy. I told him I was getting my hair cut, and he was like, "Really? You need a cut?" I was like, "No, because it still look good, don't it?" Yeah, but we need. Oh, thank you. You killing. You don't do bad cuts.
No, never. Won't ever.
Ever.
Not for you.
I know. Because you know, black people talk shit. Did he cut my hair? No,
There's two ways to ask who's your barber, whether it's a good cut or a bad cut. Somebody gonna ask, who cut your hair?
And if they put baby on the end, you know that shit is bad. Who cut your hair, baby? No, I am grateful.
Nope, I am grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for the example that y'all show in this community, man. I thought it was important to give you space as much as I could just to talk about what you've done so far. Congratulations on all the success, guys.
Man, thank you.
I'm blessed to be a part of a small piece of that journey and help you show up looking your best. But I think people need to know that you put a lot of work behind the scenes.
Appreciate that.
Before these awards came around. So
come on, give me some.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how proud you talk about me. I feel like we've been walking the same kind of journey together, and to be here with you, to see a dream realized like this.
Yeah, it's dope.
I'm inspired. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of that, and bringing he ain't got no hair, but at least I bring him in. You know what I mean? To get, kind of watch me get mine. In the back, you got some in the back.
We can do the shag. We can bring the shag back. Let's do it. Somebody got to bring it. Somebody got to set the trend.
Somebody. No, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this and to watch this and to have a front row seat of you deciding you're going to do something and you're doing it. And having an amazing family and support system. I know that is me. And, so thank you. I'm honored.
you.
I'm honored.
Yeah, the support system is really what got me here.
Yeah.
And I know for you,
Same
same
thing.
story.
Same
Yeah,
story.
we gonna end right there.
You killed that, my guy.
We did it. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
We kind of the shit. Oh, come on, my guy.
There we go.
Oh, that's how you blow it off. How you do it?
You gotta pop.
Whack it.
It's a fop.
Whack it.
You know, like what do you say, Chris? No, what was it? Kevin Hart. You gotta
That's
fop.
it. What?
You gotta fop that thing.
Hey, I gotta use this restroom.